you ever heard of mom rage? Ever felt it? Yeah, it's a real thing, and here to discuss it with us is someone you may know from the Momwell or Happy as a Mother podcast. It's Erica Djossa, everyone. Been following you for a while, and I'm loving your content because you're normalizing so much of the stuff us moms go through. So let's start with the very beginning, Erica. What is mom rage?
It's a really uncharacteristic anger that you experience when you enter motherhood for a variety of reasons. We've got like hormonal things happening postpartum. We've got an introduction into the realities of the role versus what we expected it would be. So really most people describe it as like, I was never angry before and now look at this, like I'm raising my voice, I've never raised my voice. So it really feels uncharacteristic.
For me, it's definitely right now the perimenopausal irritability matched up with the hormonal journey my kids are going through. Like, who planned this? Why are these happening at the same time?
Right?
This is not fair. That's a little cruel. But I will say one thing I realize about parenting is that I feel that we have to show up in ways generations past did not. And what I mean by that is, I wasn't necessarily on the ground playing board games with my parents. They were definitely not involved in my homework. I don't know if they know where I went to school. Like we were on our own, my sister and I, doing our thing. And now parents really have to show up and do all the things. You'll even have the principal and the teachers in the school emailing the parents to say, this project is something you should do with your kid, or this has to be due on this day. Make sure they get it in. And I wonder if some of the rage and the frustration comes from always this, expectation that we have to be on all the time and there for our kids constantly.
We're in the era of intensive mothering. It's actually researched, it has a name, and it's like we need to be all the things, do all the things, sacrifice ourselves, our well-being, our finances, our time. So when we've got that pressure cooker of you're never doing enough, we've got individual things that can contribute to this mom rage, like our sleep deprivation, our hormones and things as we touched on. But then we step back and we've got this pressure cooker that we live in that expect moms to be perfect and to always be nurturing and kind and gentle and complete all these things on the side and just smile while doing so, right? So when we express anger, it goes against everything that we think we need to be a good mom. So there's a lot of shame. There's a lot of guilt that comes with that because in my mind, I'm supposed to love every minute of this role. It's so high stakes. It's so important.
That's why I love that you talk about it, because we aren't enjoying every minute of it, and there needs to be a space where we can be okay and honest about that. What are some practical tips we might be able to do to kind of balance or stave off, manage some of our mom rage?
One of the first ones is understanding your values and what's important to you. This pressure comes externally with all these opinions and all these, we were talking about people pleasing, like all these things that we need to live up to, right? So finding what is truly important to you and trying to mother and embody that. Allowing a whole array of emotions. We are going to resent motherhood sometimes, we're going to love it other times, we're going to get angry with our children, and it's all a part of it. There's nothing wrong with you if that's how you're feeling. And then also those individual needs, like I gotta have a snack before I pick my kids up from school, or I will be so hangry. Like taking care of ourselves in little ways. True self-care, that's what it is. Like looking after those needs for ourselves helps to set us up to be less overstimulated, less on edge, and show up a little bit differently.
And I think that it's okay to do the things that we don't want to do and then backtrack and take a moment and say, by the way, I'm human.
We're only human. To have an expectation that this will never happen and we won't behave this way is totally unrealistic of the role we're in.
It's going to happen, man. You're going to yell. It's going to happen. So listen, I want to talk a little bit about your role right now because I think it's incredible. It's your first time on the show, but I have to ask why you're so passionate about helping moms with their mental health, which I think is such an incredible place for you to be in.
Yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah, I was thrown into the deep end of motherhood. I had 3 boys in the span of 3.5 years. And I went through my own postpartum depression and anxiety. As a therapist at the time, that really caught me off guard. I do this for a living, right? So that gave birth to the Happy as a Mother social media platform and podcast that's now evolved into Momwell. It's a full-fledged platform and service for maternal mental health care across Canada and the U.S.
We need it. Erica, thank you so much.
Thank you
for the work you do and normalizing all the things and for your support of moms everywhere. We need it. If you'd like to check out her podcast and learn more about conquering your mom rage, head over to cityline.tv.